Michael was an insurance agent who was known for making complicating policies easy to understand. The problem was that Michael would completely freeze up in a moment when there was more than one person talking. Put him in a room with a married couple arguing about life insurance coverage or business partners who all had different ideas about what they wanted, and Michael's brain would just shut off. While the wife wanted more coverage and the husband saying that it was too expensive, Michael would feel like his brain was just going to explode trying to process everyone's opinions at once. So he started avoiding these situations entirely. Family consultants, he'd reschedule business meetings with multiple owners. Suddenly, he was too busy. Michael told me he knew he was leaving serious money on the table because families and businesses were his biggest commissions. But the thought of sitting through another group meeting made him want to hide under his desk. What Michael didn't know was that there was simply a skill that he could develop. After understanding what was really happening in his brain during these situations, Michael discovered a way to handle group dynamics that actually made sense to him. If you're experiencing something similar, I'm here to tell you you do not have to struggle forever. Hey there, I'm Esther Rappaport, and on this episode of the Business Brain Podcast, I'm going to share with you the exact steps of what you can do to have your own transformation. But first, what if your brain actually worked with you instead of against you? That's the goal inside of Optimize Your ADHD Brain. It's a 90-day program where you go past the surface level hacks and create lasting change. Learn more and apply at lifefixuniversity.com /OYB.
While you are doing any task, you, without even realizing it, are using your 28 thinking skills. When the thinking skills you need to use are strong, doing the task happens easily. Skills you need to use are weak, doing the task comes a challenge.
The struggle that Michael had came from a weak thinking skill of clear perception. Clear perception is about taking in information in an organized way. We get information through our five senses, and your brain needs to sort and organize all the input so you can actually use it. In group meetings, Michael's brain was getting bombarded. He was trying to process the wife's facial expressions showing frustrations, the husband's tone indicating resistance, the specific words each person were saying, their body language, the documents on the table, plus his own internal pressure to respond appropriately. All the information was hitting his brain at once. And without clear perception, it felt like he was trying to drink from a fire hose. Michael's one on one meetings worked really well because there was just one stream of information to process. But add multiple people with different opinions, emotions, and agendas, and his brain couldn't organize it all fast enough. Working into a busy restaurant. Some people can immediately spot the friend at the corner table, notice the host approaching them, and hear their name being called from across the room. Other people feel overwhelmed by the noise and the movement and the visual information competing for attention. That's the difference between strong and weak clear perception. The ability to take in a complex environment and organize the information instead of getting flooded by it. Instead of avoiding situations that had a lot of information or blaming it on sensory issues, we improved Michael's ability to take in a lot of information at once. Here are four ways we improved Michael's ability to take in a lot of information at once, and you can use them too to improve your own clear perception. Number one, list them out. When you walk into a new situation, go through the five senses and list everything you notice. In a crowded coffee shop, you might notice conversation happening, espresso machine running, someone typing on their laptop, music playing, barista calling orders, oh, and another conversation near the bathroom. By listing them out, you're giving your brain a chance to take in the information in an organized way, one by one. And as you do it more, you'll find your brain being able to do it more automatically. Number two, start with what you know. In overwhelming situations, looking for the parts that you already understand first. This helps keep your brain calm so it can process the new information better. Michael learned to better identify familiar elements in every meeting. The assurance terms he knew well, the basic family dynamics he'd seen before, the common concerns that always came up. Starting with what he recognized gave his brain a foundation to build on. Number three, the big domino. Look for one key piece of information that it will affect everything else. In Michael's meetings, this is often figuring out who is actually making the financial decision or what their biggest fear about insurance was. Once he was able to identify the central piece, all the other information started making sense instead of feeling random and chaotic. Number four, challenge your clear perception. Purposely put yourself in situations that require processing a lot of information. Busy farmer markets or malls, large meetings, crowded events. Start small and gradually increase the complexity. This gives your brain the space to practice clear perception without it having major consequences. You might be wondering, aren't there like some situations that are just genuinely chaotic? It's just so much information happening at once, it just floods your brain. There's nothing to do about it. Michael felt the same way initially, but what he discovered was that even the most chaotic situations have patterns and priorities. The key is training your brain to find them instead of trying to process everything equally. Perhaps you're thinking that this approach sounds too slow for fast moving situations. Michael realized that by taking that extra few seconds to organize information up front, he could respond so much faster and more effectively than when he was trying to process everything simultaneously and getting overwhelmed. A few weeks after working together, Michael shared how a local business with three partners needed a comprehensive insurance review. Three people, all with strong opinions, all talking over each other about liability, coverage, costs, and what they've heard from other agents. Michael told me that he found himself laughing during the meeting as he remembered how previously it would have all been so overwhelming. But what meant most to him was at the end of the meeting, one of the partners told him, "You're the first person who actually seemed to understand what we needed instead of just trying to sell us something." Perception is about taking information in a clear and organized way. When your clear perception gets stronger, overwhelming situations become manageable puzzles. You can walk into the chaos and quickly organize what matters instead of feeling bombarded and shutting down. Your next steps is to pick one of the exercises we spoke about today and implement at least one of them every single day for the next week. Okay, number one, list out whatever you see, hear, smell, taste, or feel. Number two, start with what you know. Focus on what you know first so that way you can build on taking in the other information. Number three, look for the big domino. What is the big piece of information that everything else is connected to this and will make everything else easier? Number four, challenge your clear perception. Purposely put yourself in situations where your brain has to get better at clear perception. As you develop your clear perception, you'll be able to handle bigger and greater challenging situations. Your brain can absolutely learn to organize complex information smoothly. You just need to train your clear perception to sort and organize instead of getting overwhelmed.
That's all for this episode of the Business Brain Podcast. If you enjoyed it, send it to a friend who secretly wants stronger thinking skills too, so together you can grow your businesses with peak brain performance.